Don't toughen up to life. Soften into life more. This next chapter of your life doesn't require the tougher, endure, brace for life version of you. It doesn't. This new version of your life requires a different version. One that's softer, who accepts that life can have more ease, more flow. You don't have to always be, life's got to be survival and struggle and bracing. Life can be much more ease and relaxation and peace. The more you endure in life, the more you tough it out, brace for it. It just creates more of the same enduring and toughing it out instead of what you do want in life, which is, more peace and more relaxation and connection and growth. I know times are hard, and like, when have times really not been hard? I gotta say that. But I think also life has its challenges, but it doesn't mean you have to get tougher and tougher, and you have to keep enduring and bracing for life. I think you can be soft and strong. You can be emotionally vulnerable and still be strong. You gotta believe in you. You gotta believe that you can have the life you want, that you can be the person that you want to be. You gotta believe it with every fiber of your being. Every cell in your body, you gotta be like, I can have that in life, I was somebody who, I was accustomed to maybe not the best things in life, and, I struggled with low self-esteem, low self-worth, and, I did some shadow work, had some awakenings, and I was like, you know what, maybe I do deserve better in life. And it took me a long time to actually believe that I did. But once you change that mindset in your mind that, I deserve this, being soft is also a connection to, the more playful, joyful parts of life. Like when you're like, I gotta be bracing for life, and I gotta be, oh, life is hard. It kind of like suppresses your emotions, and like basically all your emotions, because you're not just feeling the bad ones, you're also not feeling the good ones, really. And if you're soft, if you're allowing yourself softness, you feel joy, ease, relaxation, and the more playful parts of life, because life is play, you know? We're in a play, in a game. This is life. It's meant to be experienced and enjoyed with the other people in the game of life. This doesn't mean let people walk all over you. That's not what I mean. No. It means you feel deeply and you recover. You set boundaries without being on guard, without being like, I gotta be cold to everybody. You're just like, I do what feels right with me. You trust yourself more, and you feel more at ease and at peace with yourself, and reality will reflect that back to you. That's not to say there won't be challenges in life, but it does change how you react to those challenges when you choose softness and peace more. It's like a tree in the forest. When a tree is rigid and, it's stiff, it's not moving, it'll snap when a storm comes. But when the tree is more bendable, it's more soft, that tree is likely to survive the storm and maybe repair, even rebuild. It's also a way to reconnect with your inner child, to connect with the most soft, most vulnerable part of yourself before, people around you told you you gotta toughen up and you gotta like really toughen up for the world because the world is gonna beat you down. It's a way to reconnect with that, gentle, kinder part of yourself. And it's something that once you do reconnect with, you can connect with more kindness and softness with the people around you. You can put yourself into their shoes a lot easier, be more empathetic, be kind, and be gentle with yourself. You're still always learning and you're always growing. You got to remind yourself that you deserve softness and kindness too. Same kindness and softness you might give someone else or a child, you give to yourself as well. Softness is also emotional regulation and presence, being more present and aware in your own life. You don't have to try as hard when you know you can just be. When you don't have to keep forcing outcomes and pushing against life. Life is always unfolding for you. It's not happening to you. You have to keep thinking, life is going to work out for you, and you can always create the life you want. It's never too late to soften to life. You don't have to keep getting tougher, keep enduring or bracing. You can soften. It's like that saying, be water, my friend. You have to be soft, flow, you know? Remember, softness is a strength in a world that teaches you to be cold and to be tough. But softness is what brings you back home to yourself.